Hey guys, Tommy, I hope you're well. Here today with the KTM Super Duke 1290R. This bike's been kindly lent to me by the guys at Laguna Motorcycles in Maidstone. So if this bike you're interested in, please do give them a shout. So yeah, the Beast, as it's known. Taking this out for a test ride today. Very much a real life test. Let's do the walk around of it now. So 1301cc V-twin. Absolute monster. 174 brake horsepower, and that's 143 newton meters of torque as well. This thing is an absolute beast. In the color scheme here, obviously the white and the orange. I'm pretty sure it comes in black as well, and I think it looks really sick in the black. Sick as in good, in case that doesn't translate across the pond. But yeah, I mean, this is wicked, and it's not as big as it looks. You know, I was actually surprised at how small this bike is when you're up close to it in person. The seat height is 835 millimeters, but when you compare it to other bikes like this, other hyper nakeds, you know, it just doesn't seem as large, I suppose. So some things about it. Let's talk about brakes at the front. So we've got Brembos at the front. I think they're the M50s, which I love. Fantastic brakes. We've got upside down WP forks at the back. I think we've got a Brembo as well, just a single Brembo there. But yeah, I mean, it's nuts. I've literally just ridden over to this area here where I do my walk around, and I'm already in a little bit of shock from how quick this actually is. Let's start her up. So it's keyless ignition. Oh, my keys in the coat over there. Let's hope is it close enough? It's not. So we now know that the distance, that is too big a distance. Let me grab the key out of the pocket and get that closer. It's a bit of a hot day today, so I took that off. You don't look at the grass, I'll look at the bike instead. There you go. So coming back over, key in pocket this time. So this one's turn it on. We've then got the ready to race screen that comes up, and then a quick start. I don't know if you can see that because of the light. So there's the exhaust. Stock exhaust on this, really good sound. I mean, yeah, sounds brilliant, and it sounds good when you're going as well. What other things about it? Mirrors, absolutely fine. There's your seating position. I can't remember the exact price of this, list price. I'll put it on the screen. I think it's just under 15 grand UK money, that is. But yeah, an absolute monster. It's got, well, a beast, let's call it. So it's got 3 riding modes. You've got your rain, road and sport. I'm in rain mode at the moment. I will stick it into sport at some point, even though it is scaring me a little bit already, I'll be honest, you know. So what I'll do is I'll jump back on and continue the ride, but so far I can tell this is going to be a lot of fun. Maybe too much fun for me, I'll be honest. You know, it is seriously quick. Right, I'll jump back on, enjoy the ride. Okay, so here on the Super Duke 1290R, been a bit excited about taking this bike out, a little bit intimidated by it, I'll be honest, because it is an absolute beast. Well, that's what it's called, the Beast. I took out the 790, which is called the Scalpel, and this is very much known as the Beast. So a little intimidating, a lot of horses behind this, a lot of torque. But let's take it out on this fine day and see if we can maybe not tame the beast, but spend some time enjoying the beast. So first impressions from the seating position. I'm going to forward a little bit, but what's really kind of apparent jumping on this straight away is, you know, my field of view as I'm looking out. You know, it doesn't really have a lot of the bike in it. You know, at the very bottom of where I'm looking, if I'm looking forward, I can pick up maybe just the top of the screen here, but it feels very much like I'm flying along with it so far. So that's going to be interesting. So test route today, it's going to be very much a real life test route. We're going to see what it's like on UK roads. We're going to take it through town, then we're going to go out onto some twisties, dual carriageway for a little bit to get her up to speed, a few more twisties, then back down. We'll do a bit of filtering. We'll basically give it a thorough test like I try and do with all the bikes I take out. It's got the stock exhaust on it, this has, which sounds really good. It's quite a good rumble that's going on there, which I quite like. Oh, this is quick. You know, you could just, I mean, I'm not going quick at all, but you could just tell from the slightest twist of the wrist that it's gonna be fast. Obviously, bikes I'm going to be comparing this to for this test ride are the likes of the Yamaha MT-10, the Honda CB650R, CB1000R, sorry, and yeah, this is definitely in that bracket of the super naked mental machines. Doesn't have a quick shifter, unfortunately. I feel I would have liked a quick shifter straight away with this sort of power. So talking through the screen and everything, I've got a fairly simple LCD screen in front of us here. It has my speed, doesn't have the mode yet. I'm in street mode at the moment. It's got 3 modes: rain mode, street mode and sport mode. We will stick it into sport mode at some point, but all very clear. Like I say, the only thing is you have to look down at it quite a bit because it's not really in your sight. You've got to have a bit of a head movement. Well, I do anyway. In terms of my measurements, I am 6 foot tall. I weigh, I think, just under 90 kilos now for those that follow my videos. Usually I'm over 90 kilos. I think I'm 89 kilos at the moment, so I lost a little bit of weight. And yeah, inside leg measurement of 33 inches, and this feels fine to me, absolutely no problems whatsoever. And the seat height on this is 835 millimeters off the top of my head, but the bike is quite thin on the seat, so you know, I think, you know, if 835 sounds, oh, that's a bit high for me for what you're used to riding, have a sit on one because it may be okay because of the thinner seat that you've got there. Yeah, but it is funny the size of it when you look at it and you're jumping on it. It's it doesn't look anywhere near as big as the bike it is. You know, it's quite a small frame machine. Okay, so fairly short section through town there. We will be doing more town action later on, but yeah, no problems. You're high up, so you can see what's going on. No dramas going through town. But let's get this out onto the twisties and see what she's like at a bit of speed. Okay, first chance of a bit of speed. Holy fuck. My life, that is up to speed so quick. I've used this section a lot to judge, you know, acceleration of bikes, and I was up to national speed limit way before anything else that I've ridden. Oh my god. I don't want to go too quick during these sections. I've still just jumped on it. I'm still getting used to it. Let's take my time with it. But my god, that was very quick just then. Like, very quick. Woo. It's just instantly up at speed. Oh, I'm going to need to be very careful on this test ride, because this is beyond some of the other bikes that I've ridden. God, it just gets up so quick. I mean, it's just the tiniest twist of the wrist. It is so quick, and it's difficult to look down, I find, to actually see what speed you're going. I mean, the pickup is just astonishing. The steering isn't as I'm not as in tune with the steering as I would be on other bikes. It doesn't feel quite as flickable as others. I think it might just be getting used to it. It may just be my riding ability as well. You know, I've got to be honest about these things. I haven't read a lot of bikes like this, so I'm finding the gear indicator, I mean, we're talking, you know, my little gripes that I'm trying to look for here. It's a bit of a stretch for my thumb. I'm sure it's something you'll get used to, but you know, just something. Come on, I'm letting you go. Just something there. This bike comes with a cruise control as well. I just remembered looking down. Don't know if we'll get the chance to check that out, but hey, always nice to have it. Well, I suppose I tend to think of cruise control as being more for, you know, bikes that are going to be spending a long time, you know, doing a lot of miles on the motorway, and I don't know, I don't see this as a touring sort of machine, so it's always interesting when you have a bike like this which has it. I mean, I'd be keener for a bike like this to have, rather than cruise control as standard, having a quick shifter as standard. Makes far more sense. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with her now. Feeling a little bit more precise in where I want her to be. Always takes a bit of time just to get used to a bike. Some bikes are quicker than others, but I find with some of these ones where they are ridiculously powerful, you know, part of me wants to just hold back a little bit more, just to kind of let myself settle in. We're coming up to the dual carriageway now, so let's get her up to speed. A little bit of traffic. That is quick, though. I was not as smooth as I wanted to be there. A quick shifter would come in handy because the gear changes on it, because it's a V-twin. You know, when you let off, you've got to be quick on it. Okay, that was a bit more like it. I want to go left here. Yeah, that was a bit more like it. Yeah, I found initially my first pull away, I was nowhere near as smooth as I wanted to be, because I was just a little bit too long changing gear, and then with the V-twin and everything, and I don't know, I'm waffling. I was crap. That's the conclusion. But my next one was better. There is a lot of wind, as to be expected. I mean, that was in first. In first, I was up to national speed limit there. I mean, it is. I think remembering to change gear, that's the thing, because you've got so much power in it that you kind of forget to change gear a little bit because you're still pulling. But then you get to a point where you need to change gear, and you probably don't want to change gear at that speed in quite the way. Oh, I don't know, I'm waffling big time. I can't talk. I've lost the words. Good brakes, can't deny that. Ooh, funny how that is. That scared me a little bit. I'm having a moment where I just want to chill out. That could have been bad. I was positioned alright, I was on the brakes. If he pulled out I would have impacted him, I reckon. But I reckon the impact would have been a pretty slow impact with the speed cutting down. One of those things. Okay, let's have a go on the cruise control. You just pull this down to set it. Oh, set at 31. Popped over a little bit there. Just drop it down to 30. Yeah, it's alright. Absolutely fine. Nice and stable. Gives you a chance to rest your wrist, get blood back into your thumb, which is somewhere where I tend to struggle with circulation a little bit. And cancelling it, I think it's just, yep, a flick off to the side and then it cancels. Works well, no problem. Sport mode set, close throttle. Okay, we're now in sport mode. Let's get back out of all these menus. Okay, quick blast up the hill. Oh, I really like that section of road, and I'm glad I've just done that, because that was probably the first time I've really felt
like really good on the bike. I've been a little bit unsure of it the whole time I've been riding it around, but that was quite good. I think it's a combination of things. Sport mode, I think, is you know, the difference in it's all down to throttle response and the way your mind works with things. I think I personally like the more responsive the throttle for me, the better it seems, to a certain extent, obviously. And you know, that felt good. I mean, you know, I'm comparing this to, like I said, the CB1000R and the MT10. So through the twisty sections and, you know, dual carriageway, up to speed and everything, this isn't as confidence inspiring as the other two are, I don't feel. Not for me. Obviously, if this is what you're interested in, then please do ride it and see what you think, because you may feel completely different. But yeah, for myself, it's not quite as confidence inspiring. I found it was just taking longer to get used to. It was literally that one last section coming up the hill that I was thinking, okay, yeah, I'm feeling it now. It's got a ridiculous amount of power. It's more powerful than the other two. It's, you know, its name of the beast, it is well and truly warranted, I feel. I would say in terms of looks, it is the one that I prefer the looks of the most. I would say that's in black though. I love the look of this bike in the black. I think it just looks so fierce, you know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down into town again now, and hopefully get a chance to do a bit of filtering and then do my concluding thoughts. Oh, well, I'm not actually sure if we're going to get much filtering opportunity here. I did a little bit earlier on though, so you know, we know it's all right at that. So let's run through concluding thoughts. Good bike, though I've got to be honest, this bike is out of my skill set, I feel. It really is a beast of a machine. Oh, what are you doing? A little opportunity for a filter there. Yeah, I feel it's maybe a little bit out of my my skill set. It's I definitely do not feel that I have tamed the beast. I don't know if anyone ever would feel like they've tamed it, but for me it's a lot of power, a lot of torque, and not quite as confidence inspiring as some of the others that I've ridden. That's not to say that, you know, if you're watching this and thinking about getting one of these, that it's not a good bike to go and have a ride on, because it is definitely experienced, and I'm sure other riders will jump on this and be absolutely fine. So yeah, would I have one? No, not at the moment. For me it would be the CB1000R if I was getting a bike in that sort of class range, as that to me felt the most comfortable, I suppose. I'm really surprised it doesn't have a quick shifter. It really should. Definitely should have a quick shifter, this bike. I know people in the comments will say, oh, why do you need a quick shifter? Or one person does it and then you expect all the manufacturers to have it. But it's just a better way to deliver the power, isn't it? To get up those gears. The seat position I mentioned is completely comfortable. Mirror's absolutely fine. I'm trying to think of other things which I may have forgotten. I'll put a full write-up review in the description below. Many thanks to the guys at Laguna's for letting me this bike to test ride. If it is one you're interested in and you're in the Maidstone area, then please do pop in and check them out. They're a great bunch. There they are there, and they've got a massive range of bikes to choose from, and the lovely shop here where I buy quite a lot of gear, because the staff in there are also wonderful. I'm not being paid to say that. Obviously they sort me out these bikes, but at the same point I would be I'll be saying that anyway, because they're my local and I like them. Anyway, I'm waffling. Hope you enjoyed. Please comment and subscribe if you enjoy the stuff, and catch you for the next one. Cheers.